Come back to you, but I understand that Musale Mudavadi is fielding questions from the members of the press. Let's just go back there and just listen into that.
It's about whether we go manual or we go electronic. And what won the day was that the Kenyan electoral system should be an electronic system consisting of 3 components which you are aware about. And therefore, any attempt to interfere with the basic system, which is electronic, would compromise the entire election. There has been word there from the Carter Center in the United States saying that if these systems don't work, then in their view, the electoral system will be totally compromised. And what we are fighting about is a tough war that has been going on within the IEBC, who can have access or information to the system, have the password. And to that extent, if in any way the death of Chris Msando had a bearing on his being forced to give information as to certain aspects of the system that should not be compromised, or can only be, be unraveled during or on election day, then this is a matter that we need to go into fully. But the potential for hacking into the system, potential that somebody has had access to the system, that would compromise the entire election, whether from the aspects of transmission, whether from the aspect of identification of voters, or even with the register. Up to now, actually, there's no authentic register, electronic register, which the IBC has given out there. So on all 3 components of the electoral process, electronic process, there's a great fear that this may be compromised. And if my leader here can allow me, it is becoming a trend with the police to give information to certain circles, political circles within the country, on a matter which is still under investigation, when it is still very raw. I remember when one of your own, Mr. Menya, a journalist, was arrested at CID headquarters. The police themselves were sending pictures out to elements within the Jubilee leadership, which were then put on the social media. Now, again, to my shock, in relation to the death of Chris Msando, pictures from the crime scene, or what was potentially a crime scene, where the vehicle was found and where the bodies were found. All this now is already in the public domain, and therefore there's a potential that these crime scenes have been contaminated, no doubt, to destroy any investigations which would go towards establishing the motive of the murder, if it was anything to do with trying to get the password from Chris Msando. I remember when I was doing the Uko case and the Julie Ward case, there was contamination of the crime scenes. And whether you bring the FBI or the Scotland Yard, if a scene has been contaminated, it is very difficult then subsequently to deal with it. And my appeal would be, if, as my leader has said, FBI comes or Scotland Yard comes, they should go, fully into the investigations without interference. Because we saw that in the Dr. Uko murder investigations, when Scotland Yard was right in the middle of the investigations, they were sent away. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Asante Nibas.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All All right, Senator James Orenga there. He was, of course, in the company of Musalia Mudavadi, who also made his concerns and his statement, really still talking about the Chris Msando murder case. What James Orenga has really narrowed down to is just how the crime scenes have been handled, saying that, by now they seem to have been contaminated, just asking for a more professional way of handling this particular case so that the killers really of Chris Msando can be brought to book. Let me just get the views